Hello everyone. Hope you guys can hear me. I'm so happy that we have done this webinar is starting right now. I'm seeing that there are a lot of people that were able to do the chat. I'm seeing the messages coming in, and this is getting me really excited. So we have 18 people here. We have so many people that actually registered for this free financial literacy class. We have over 271 of you guys, and I cannot wait for you guys to join in and join this webinar and be blessed. But for now, let's wait for our mates to all come into the chat, and let's see who is in here. I'm seeing Favor. Okay. Can you guys, so let me know you guys are here and you're active. Can you let me know where you're joining from? If you're joining from Lagos, if you're joining from school, if you're joining from Abuja, from Tapo, let me know where you're joining from. Hi, Amaglu. Okay, everyone is ready. Hi, Divine. Okay, some people from Ebony State. We have Akwa Ibom, Jemima from Lagos, another person from Lagos, Belle from Abuja, someone from Delta State. Oh, I'm loving this. I'm loving this. We have someone from Ilorin. Hi guys, I'm so happy that we're having this session. So we're just going to wait a little bit for more people to come in before we start because I really don't want anyone to miss this. Remember, this is the blog channel, and this financial literacy class is going to be in collaboration with Zedcrest. So enjoy, let everyone join in so that everyone can participate live. And regardless, you guys will always find this class here on the blog channel on YouTube. So make sure you're subscribed, make sure you share it with one another so that you guys can get access to everything we're going to be having here, the classes we're going to get all of this platform. Okay, so more people are joining in. We have Akwa Ibom again, Port Harcourt again. Can you guys hear me clearly? If you can't hear me clearly, please let me know. Okay, so some people are saying they can't hear me clearly. I would like to figure out what that is. If it's from my end or yours. Okay, so some people are saying they hear me clearly, some say they can't hear me. I'm trying to figure out which it is. Okay, can you guys hear me a bit better now? More people from Abuja and in here. Okay, so people are saying that it sounds better now. I don't know why. It's not really, it's no fun. I don't know what's the problem. We have 41 people in here already waiting for this to begin. Oh, okay. So I think I'm just going to jump right into it. For the background noise, I really apologize if on your end there's a lot of background noise. Um, from my end, there isn't, and on this side, I don't know what the issue might be, but some people said there is way better now. But I'll try to be way louder than whatever noise it is that you're hearing. But just so that you know, we're going to jump right into it because we have the whole team from Zedcrest and a special guest speaker speaking to you guys today. So I don't want you guys to miss out on anything. I don't want to waste your time because I want us to have this session. Like in the email that I sent to you all, I said that it is time for us here at the Blog channel and every single one of you to get access to financial literacy. And in this class, it's not just a webinar. First things first, you're going to get knowledge about saving, budgeting, and investing as a beginner or whatever stage you are. You're also going to learn about Zedcrest and how to use this platform to actually save your money, to invest your money, to budget your money, and to grow your money, which is, I believe, why we're all here, which is very important for everybody. And I know a lot of you are here because you learned that your price is before. There's going to be a game for all going to be playing and participating. So I need you guys to be very active throughout this class. I need you to engage in the comments because those that are active, those that are really active, you're going to enjoy this video. So before I keep wasting time, let's really just get into it, okay? So first things first, I've been saying this, and as you can see, and even with my merch and everything, this class is in collaboration with Zedcrest. And let me tell you a little bit about Zedcrest before we let them come in and speak, okay? So Zedcrest is a SEC licensed digital wealth and asset management firm under the Zedcrest Group in Nigeria. It offers investment products like mutual funds, fixed income, and saving plans for individuals and businesses. So if you're an individual, if you're here for your business, whatever it is, you're in the right space right now. Known for its tech-driven platform, group saving features, and gamified financial literacy. Let me say that again, gamified financial literacy, because we are going to experience this firsthand in here. Zedcrest Wealth focuses on accessible, high yield, and transparent investing for Nigeria. I hope you guys are ready. Once again, can we? I think we can can we make some noise in the comments for Zedcrest for saying going out on their way to continue this collaboration with the Blog channel so that we all can be, inspired, be equipped with knowledge, and not just knowledge, but actually the steps and the platform that will actually help us to achieve this. So if you guys can comment Zedcrest in the chat, let us know that let them know that we're happy that they're doing what they're doing and that we're really, really grateful for what they're doing. Okay? Great, great, great. Oh, I'm seeing energy. The energy is here. I'm loving this. Now, like I said, I really want us to get into it. So now I'm about to introduce us first, which is from Zedcrest. But before that, someone mentioned in the chat, get out your pen, your paper, your tablet, your iPad, whatever means you're going to use to jot this down. For those asking, will the recording be available? Yes. After everything, the whole life is going to be saved here on YouTube, so you can come back to watch it, watch it, pick out the important points, and get access to every other thing. So first things first, let me say again, thank you Zedcrest, and now it is time. Let me introduce our first speaker. Our first guest speaker from Zedcrest is Favor Oladapo. Is an associate wealth manager with a Bachelor of Science in International Relations from Covenant University and a certification in wealth and investment management. Guys, give her a round of applause. Give her a round of applause. She is passionate about helping people build and manage wealth through tailored financial solutions and strategic investment plans. Everybody, can you give a round of applause for Favor Oladapo, our first guest speaker from Zedcrest, who's about to break down financial literacy to us and give us access. Let me invite her to the stage. Hi, Favor. I think your mic is muted. Favor, can you hear? Can you hear us better? Or is it next one? Okay, no worries, she'll be back. So I think Favor's network is a big bag, but we're about to get her back on track. While we're waiting for her to get back, I want to ask you guys, at what stage are you in your financial literacy journey? Are you a beginner? Have you been doing this for a while? Are you, let me not say new, you're not new to the game, you're true to the game, you've been working on this and all. Let me know what stage you guys are at in your financial literacy journey.
Hi, Christy.
Before you introduce us.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you guys hear Favor? Okay, if they say we can hear you
Okay.
well. So, Favor, once again, thank you for being here. Thank you, Zedcrest, and everybody. And I'm just going to
Thank
give
you.
you your space to do your thing. So, the
Mm.
people are waiting. I don't want to keep them waiting. I'll bore them with my gist. So, you guys, once again, this is Favor, and please go ahead and enlighten us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone, for having me. If you can hear me, please just say hello or hi in the chat box, just so I can know that you can hear me. Okay. I see somebody say I'm Batman. Hi, Batman. Okay. Okay. So I'm just going to share my screen. 1 second. Can you guys see my screen? I'm not sure. Yeah. Okay. If you can see my screen, say yes in the chat so I know that you can see it. Okay, okay, okay. I see yes, yes, yes. All right. Thank you so much everyone for joining. My name is Favor, as Tochi rightly mentioned. Just see me as your financial advisor, right? Um, so what are we going to be talking about here today? As you can see on the screen, we're going to be speaking on financial wellness. So I'm going to start out with a question. So when you hear the word wellness, what comes to mind? When you hear the word wellness, what comes to mind? You could just type it in the chat. When you hear wellness, what comes to mind? Good health, okay? Awareness, okay? Health, okay? Okay, reach, okay, stability, okay? Okay, health, okay, health, safety, stability, got it. All right. So I mean, your answers are completely understandable. Typically, when we hear the word wellness, the first thing that comes to your mind is health. Oh, am I physically well? Am I well? Am I sick or anything? So when somebody asks you, oh, are you feeling fine or are you feeling well? You typically just think about your health. But of course, we need to understand that wellness goes beyond just your health, right? When we speak to wellness, we can speak to mental wellness, we can speak to your spiritual wellness. But yeah, what we're going to be talking about is basically just your financial wellness and how you can be financially well. So when you hear the word financial wellness, um, what it simply just means is that having peace of mind when it comes to your money, right? Knowing that you have enough money to be able to cover your daily expenses, to even cover for emergencies, right? You know, you have there situations whereby yes, emergencies can come up. When in Nigeria, I mean, tomorrow somebody can just call you at home and say, "Oh, something came up. You need to send some money to the house for so and so thing," depending on I mean, your status in the family, right? But when you're financially well, you have all these things planned out. You even plan out your emergencies as well, just so that you're not getting when it comes to money. right? So what I'm going to be talking about today is just having that peace of mind when it comes to money. Okay, so what do we say is the foundation of financial wellness? That's what we call budgeting. So I want everyone to answer this question. Do you have control over your money? Do you think you have control over your money? Oh, I see somebody say, I'm tired of being broke. Don't worry. I understand. Do you have control over your money? Do you think you have control over your money? Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. Sometimes. All right. All right. Thank you so much. So when we speak about budgeting, it's basically just creating a structured plan for how you would spend, earn, and save your money. It's having a plan as to, okay, it could be a monthly budget, it could be a weekly budget, depending on what you want to do or what works best for you. So when we hear the word budgeting, it just helps you to plan all of your expenses, both the emergencies, or for instance, maybe you're trying to save up for school, or you're trying to save up to pay your siblings' school fees, right? So this just helps you to have it's basically starting with an end goal in mind. So for instance, let's say that my goal is that I want to own a house in the next 5 years. That is what is going to be the foundation of my budgeting. So for instance, let's say I earn a monthly salary. I have a portion of money that I will put aside towards this particular goal that I have. So this is what budgeting helps us to do. It helps you to calculate what are your expenses, what are your needs, what are your wants, and what are you going to be saving or investing part time. Okay, so what is the importance of budgeting? Budgeting basically just helps us to control our spending, right? It helps us to live within our means. It helps us to save and invest our money, as well as also help with debt management. So there are different types of budgeting methods that you can make use of. But the most popular one is the 50-30-20 rule, which basically just says that 50% of whatever it is that you earn should go into servicing your needs. So the needs that different people have will vary, right? Some people's needs are, oh, I want to pay for my life expense, I want to pay for my rent, whatever it is that your needs are, it is going to be dependent on you as a person, right? Also, for your wants are basically non-essentials, things that you can do without. Oh, that hangout I want to have with my friends, right? I need to spend money for it, or maybe oh, I want to buy a new wig, right, for the ladies. These are things that we consider as your wants, right? Because there are things that if you don't get it, you will not die. You will still be alive, right? Basically. Um, so yes, and then the final 20% typically goes to savings and investments. So like I mentioned, the method that you choose to adopt would vary, right? Some people can choose to save 50% or even invest 50% of whatever it is that they make, depending on whatever goals that they have, right? So these are the things that will determine what you budget or what you plan towards as a person. So now let's speak to savings, right? So just when you hear the word savings, what comes to mind? When you hear the word savings, what comes to mind? Uh, if you don't have a source of income, well, you need to get a source of income. I see somebody asking that what if you don't have a source of income? Okay, future, okay, money kept aside, okay, emergency money, okay, okay, money kept aside for future purposes, keeping money for rainy days. Okay, got it. So yes, everybody that has said something in the comment section is correct. So savings is basically putting aside a portion of your income or a portion of whatever it is that you make for a particular period of time. So when you hear the word savings and you hear the word investment, what would you say is the difference between savings and investment? Difference between savings and investments. Anyone? Okay. Keeping money for future goal. Okay. Investment grows money. Okay. But does savings not grow money as well? Mm. Okay. Okay. Exactly. Increasing the money you keep aside. Oh, lovely. Lovely. We have very smart people in this channel. Okay, great. Okay, so everybody that has said something is correct in their own way. So savings, I mean, nowadays where we have a lot of fintechs come up, it is very possible that your savings also grow, right? But from my perspective, I would say that the major difference between savings and investment is more tailored towards long term. Or for instance, I'm investing because I want to buy a house, or I'm investing because I want to, I don't know, maybe buy a car, right? Um, so that's the major difference. The major difference between savings and investment is just the tenor, majorly, right? And savings are typically to meet short term needs. So for instance, you want to save towards, I don't know, getting something of your own, right? So that's majorly what savings is. And savings is also typically very low risk, though we also have low risk investments as well. But I'm going to be speaking all to that. Um, so before I continue, we have a special thing that we do at the end of every session that we have with a group of people. We call it a financial literacy tournament. It is something that happens on our application. That's the Zedcrest Wealth app, and you stand a chance to win prizes, amazing prizes. I'm not going to mention what the prizes are, but at this junction, I would ask that we all bring out our phones. If you're using your phone, you could just go to your Play Store or App Store, search for Zedcrest Wealth, and or if you want to, you can scan the QR code on the screen and and it will take you directly to where you can download the application from, right? So please download the app um, so that you'll be able to participate in the tournament at the end of this session and also get to win amazing prizes. When you're downloading the app, please make sure to use the referral code GLO58 so that we are able to track it. Thank you. So I'll just continue. If you have any issues downloading the app, please, okay, if you have the app already, that's fine. You can still participate in the tournament. If you have any issues downloading the app, please indicate in the chat. I have my colleagues in the chat and they would, okay, I see that a couple of people have already downloaded the app. That's great. Okay, so I'll just move on. So what are the different types of savings? So we have long-term savings, we have emergency savings, we have retirement savings, and we have goal-based savings, right? So all of these savings is is dependent on what it is that you're looking to achieve. So I'm just going to skim through this. Okay, so when we speak to investing, what are we talking about? Investing is basically putting outside your money into assets like maybe you want to buy stocks, you want to buy bonds, you want to buy mutual funds, you want to buy treasury bills. There are lots of investment products available. I'm going to also touch on that as well so that we understand what these things mean, and then we're not just speaking gibberish, but we're actually trying to break it down to you so you can actually understand and decide what you want to start out with as an individual. So speaking to what products that we offer and products that we currently have that can help you to start your savings and investment journey and basically help you to be financially well. So we have for savings, we have three major products. The flexible savings. For flexible savings, we have both dollar and naira. This is what you use for your emergency savings. That that savings that you have in case of black tax, right? I'm sure we all know what black tax is, where somebody will say, ah, grandma has swallowed tax in the village, oh, please come and send us 400,000 naira or 100,000 naira. You already have something set aside for that, so you will not have to stress or strain yourself on that, right? So that's what flexible savings is there for. So you can choose to do it in both naira or dollar, depending on what your preference is. Then there's also target savings, which of course speaks to goal-based savings. So for instance, you have a particular goal, maybe you want to save towards something that you're trying to get in the future. Maybe you want to buy that iPhone 17, right? You can start to use that product to save it, right? Lock savings basically just helps you to build discipline. For those of you that money cannot stay in your account. You spend it. Lock savings is what is the best thing for you to do because you're able to lock your money and you actually not be able to unlock it until the set period of time, right? So it just helps you to build that discipline when it comes to savings, right? So speaking to investments, we have high yield. High yield is basically just like fixed deposit placement. So for instance, sorry, excuse me, is putting your money aside for a period of time. And of course, this has better use than the savings product. So let's say you're putting aside ₦1 million, locking it for 90-day period. You can even choose to get your interest up front and reinvest that interest somewhere else, which is what I typically like to do. So that I'm not just earning interest on just capital, but I'm earning interest on both the capital and the interest as well. So we have high yield naira, high yield dollar. Then speaking to the mutual fund product, the mutual fund product is actually the best product for a beginner investor to start out with. Reason being that it gives you access to a diversified portfolio without a very large capital sum. So for instance, our money market fund on the application, um, you can start out your investment with as little as 1,000 naira, right? And you can earn up to 20% in interest on that particular investment. Also, it's very flexible in the sense that you get to earn interest and your money is only supposed to be in, I mean, the minimum holding period is just 30 days. So what that means is that you can put in your funds and then after a 30-day period, if you maybe for some chance need the money, by some chance need the money, you can take it out. Also, your interest compounds, and I'll speak a little to the power of compounding interest. So, for instance, imagine investing your money and then you invest maybe ₦1 million and you get after 1 month or 2 months, you get 300,000 naira. That's just an example, right? Um, and then you're able to then reinvest that money or sort of invest that money or add it to your capital in a way that it compounds. So now you're not just earning interest on just the 1 million naira, but you're earning on 1.3, right? So what that means is that your interest is going to be more in that scenario, right? So which is why this particular investment instrument is actually a very good one for start out investors to make use of. Also to mention, if you have questions, please just note it down. At the end of this session, I'll take all questions. Um, that you might have. Okay. Speaking to the dollar fund, the dollar fund is similar to the money market fund, but it's for longer term savings or investments. So let's say that you're looking to um, explore the dollar market, right? You don't want to do naira anymore. I have some people that say, me, I don't do naira investment too, because naira is not a sensible currency. It's fine, it's okay, right? You can choose to invest majorly in dollars using our dollar fund. The minimum investment amount is just $100, and the composition of this fund is euro bonds. This euro bonds, typically, if you go to the market to buy, it's $200,000 that you need to invest into this particular product. But what we have done is to simplify it by creating a mutual fund product that comprises of both euro bonds and fixed deposit products, which allows retail investors to be able to invest into the same instruments without a large capital, right? So you can start out with as little as $100 on that. Just to mention, the year-to-date yield on our dollar fund is over 13% as of today. So what that means is that if you're invested at the start of the year, you'll be swimming in money by now. So yes, lastly, speaking to our fixed income fund, this is also a longer term sort of investment, but it is okay. But it is more of bonds. So just to explain what a bond is basically a debt instrument. It is Nigerian government now. They have a budget of let's say 200 billion naira for a year, and they need money. They only have maybe 1 billion to be able to um, meet up with that budget. So they have a deficit of 50 billion. So what they then do in a situation like that is they come to the capital market to borrow money to meet up with that budget deficit and do the things that they need to do. Maybe they need to build roads or they need to do one thing or the other, right? So that's it. So when we say that you're investing your money and you're purchasing a bond, what that means is that You are lending money to the government. For though there are two types. There's the treasury bills and there's the bond. So treasury bills are short term. The maximum tenor for a treasury bill is 365 days. While for bonds, you can have a bond that is lasting as long as 10 years, right? So for treasury bills, you have a a short tenor, right? And let's say after you invest in a 90 days or 91 day T-bill, after 91 days, you're going to get your interest, right? Um, Same thing applies to bonds as well. What applies to bonds is that because it's longer term, how it is done is typically you get your interest twice in a year, right? So semi-annually. So let's say you have a 10-year bond, for instance, what you're going to have is at the in each year, right? You're going to be getting your coupon paid. They call it coupon. It's basically just interest, um, where you get your interest over time so that you are not waiting till the end of the ten or the duration before you can get your interest. Imagine waiting 10 years to get your interest on maybe a 50 million naira investment or a 5 million naira investment, right? What bonds do is that on a semi-annual basis, you get money. Semi-annual means twice in a year, right? Just to break it down a little bit. So when I'm speaking to saying, oh, our fixed income fund has bonds as one of its underlying assets, I'm just telling you that if you're looking to have exposure to the bond market, which I did explain what the meaning of that is, you can place funds in our fixed income fund. Also speaking to fixed income products, I already spoke about what treasury bills are. They are basically debt instruments and they are considered as the safest form of investment. Why? It is backed by the full faith of the government. So the worst that could happen is, oh, maybe people can decide that you don't have money and you can go to the city to the central bank quoting anywhere. You can go to the central bank and print money. But of course that is not going to happen, right? This just speaks to how that treasury bills are actually the safest form of investment because it's backed by the full faith of the government, right? So moving on, speaking to commercial papers. So commercial papers are similar to treasury bills. However, rather than the government this time it is companies, blue chip companies coming to the capital market to raise funds. So the reason why commercial papers are usually attractive to investors is because they have a higher yield than your typical treasury bill type of investment. So for instance, currently treasury bills are trading at 15% in the market, 15% levels, but you can see a commercial paper that will give you up to 24% interest on your investment, right? And of course, I mean, there's always risk attached to all these things. However, what we try to do as Zedcrest is that we do our own individual research. We have a research team that looks at all these commercial papers when they come out. They look into the company, they look at their financials. Is this company likely to pay back this investment? And then, oh, this company is good enough. That's when we decide to say, oh, we can actually invest into this commercial paper investment. So you can do that on our application as well. All these things that I've mentioned are on the app. Right. So moving on, I think I've spent a lot of time on this slide. Okay, so that's pretty much the end of my slides actually. So this is just a call to action that you should start today. Summary of everything here is that you should start building your financial future today, right? If you haven't started saving yet, start saving. If you haven't started investing yet, start investing. So some of you might ask yourself, oh, why should I download Zedcrest? I already have other applications that I use, right? One thing that Zedcrest stands out for is the fact that we are very particular on financial wellness and financial literacy. So we're not just telling you to come and invest into our product, but we're actually also teaching you and telling you why, right? So if I tell you, for instance, come and invest in mutual funds, why do I want to invest in mutual funds? You get to see all our research on the application that helps you to make informed decisions, right? So you're not just investing based off of, oh, I just want to invest, but you're investing because you have the knowledge, you have the know-how, right? Another thing we try to do is this financial literacy thing. On a weekly basis, there is usually a weekly quiz that we have on the application, which basically just helps you sharpen your financial skills and just helps you to make more informed decisions, like I mentioned. So that would be all from me. Are there any questions? Okay, somebody is asking for the code. The code is GLO. Let me go back to that slide. The code is GLO 58. Thank you so much, everyone. Please, if you have any questions, now is the time. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. I would really have loved to know to hear somebody ask me a question though, because now I'm not even sure that is it that everybody understood everything that I said. Okay, so if nobody is going to ask a question, I'm going to ask a question, throw a question to the audience. So my question will be, what did I say that treasury bills are currently trading at in the market? Okay, I'm seeing questions start to drop. Oh, how long have I been investing for? Wow, that's a very interesting question. I've been investing since I started to make, even before I started to make money actually, since I was in school, when I was in uni, I started to invest money. That's like how many years ago? I've been investing for more than 5 years now, actually. Another question, is it possible to convert Naira to dollar on the app? Yes, yes, it is. So we actually, one of the things that we try to do is, like I said, make life easy for you. So on the application, you can convert Naira into dollar. We have a partner company that we work with, Leatherback. Leatherback is basically a global payment platform. So yes, on the application, you can convert your Naira into dollars. Also, is there a minimum amount for bonds and treasury bills? If you're buying in the primary market, the minimum amount is 50 million naira. However, if you're buying in the secondary market, you can buy, even on our application, you can buy from as low as 100,000, 200,000 naira for treasury bills. For bonds, you it's typically you have to buy, let's say, there is no limit, if I'm being honest, in the secondary market. But yes, that's why we have products like fixed income funds where you can put in your money into, even if you don't have up to that 50 million naira to buy a bond or buy a treasury bill from the primary market, you can buy it from the secondary market. Then, okay, how much can you use to start investing in the commercial paper? So for commercial papers, typically the minimum investment amount is 5 million naira, but this is also dependent on the company that you're investing with. But most of the time, it's 5 million naira. That's the minimum. For high yield, well, for high yield, you can get as high as 19%, 20% on your investment, depending on the amount you're putting in and how much and how long you're leaving the funds for. If you have 150K, so I'm trying to read through all the questions. If you have 150, if you earn 150K, okay. For this person that asked this question, if you earn 150K, what would I advise you to invest in? To be honest, it will, I'll first ask you what is your long term goal? What are you looking to do in the long run? But if you're just a start out investor that you just want to invest a certain percentage of your salary, the money market is the best place for you. Money market is the best place for you. I already answered this question. Okay, so 1,000. Was there a time you felt like I'm no more saving? To be honest, Since I started investing, I've never felt like I'm not going to save or invest again because I've seen the benefits, right? So when you do something and you see the benefit of it, of course, you definitely continue. So I don't think I've ever had a period that I was like, oh, I'm tired of investing. I want to spend all my money. No, that has not happened before. Um, okay, okay. I'm going to have to end my session here. My colleagues would answer the questions in the chat just so that we keep the time. Tochi, I feel like I've already spent a lot of time. Hi, Tochi, can you hear me?
Hi, can you
Okay.
hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All
So we
right,
can
thank
have
you
the
so
tournament
much.
now. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, we're moving to the tournament. I know a lot of people have been waiting for this, but it is now time. Once again, people, thank you. You will definitely come back if we have more questions towards the end. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, thank you again. So, guys, it's time for the tournament. I'm ready. If you guys think I'm not joining as well, I am joining as well. So, I think everyone should be ready and on their feet. Basically, that's all I would say. I can't wait for this too. And she'll be taking over for the tournament. I am excited. I hope everyone has downloaded Zedcrest and used the code and created an account, signed up, everything because that's what we need in order to do this. Okay? But before we begin, I want to ask you guys, um, if you have your Zcrest app downloaded, you've used the code to sign up. Let them. I want to see you guys leave a comment. I want to know that you're ready for this. You're not just ready for this tournament, but you're ready to start investing, to start saving, to start using your money wisely. If you have, please leave a comment below. All right. So it seems like most of us are already have downloaded the app and are ready. So just give us a minute. We're trying to make sure we walk you through the process of playing this game and challenge. right, seems like we might be ready. Are you there? Can you hear me?
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? Good evening. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So, like my colleague said, I'm going to explain the purpose of the tournament. The tournament is basically to ensure that we got people engaged on the conversation that happened during the financial literacy that my colleague gave you guys the that's favor Oladapo. So we're going to be asking financial questions, and at the end of the tournament, three people get to win um prizes, and I hope you are one of the three people. So I'm going to create the tournament now so everybody can join. So please hold on while I do that. So and get ready, like to haste this tournament. So sorry, please hold on. Okay, so starting less than. Sorry, hold on. We're going to start by 5:55. That's 3 minutes away. So okay, so to go through the tournament, so I'm going to I would like to navigate you all through how to get to where the tournament is. So when you log in on your Zedcrest Wealth app, please can everyone log in on their Zedcrest app so I can put them through how to get to the tournament. If you So you click on your profile icon. So when you are click on your profile icon, you get to see different lists. You see my account, bank and cards, and game center. You click on the game center, then you're going to see tournaments. So click on tournaments. So if you are all there to this, if you are already at the tournament, please let me know. Just say I am there. Just signify on the comment box. Just say I am there, so we could all know. We have 1 minute left before the tournament begins. Once you get to the tournament, you are going to click on quick fire quiz. Quick fire quiz. So once you click on quick fire quiz, you're going to see Zedcrest um in partner with Glow Up channel. So that will be starting in less than. If you want more extra time, please let me know for you to download the app and get registered and everything. Please signify in the comment box if you would want that too. Okay. I need like 20. I am there. If I have 20, I am there. Then we are oh, okay. So it's time. So continue. Please start the game. Oh, please start your tournament. And I wish you best of luck. So So how is it going? How is it going? Hope the questions are not too tough. Hope the questions are not too tough. They are not tough here. The questions I'm seeing are not tough, but I hope they are not too tough for anyone. So yes. So okay, I pray you win. Oh, okay. There are just 10 questions. So okay.
When you finish, yeah, you still we're managing the life. Alex, we're managing the life. Yeah, I'm trying to finish.
So as are we all done, or are people still playing? Okay, for those that are asking which tournament, right? So like I explained, when you get to your profile icon, you click on it, then it takes you to game center. Once it takes you to game center, you click on tournament. When you click on tournament, you see the name there. written Zedcrest with glow up channel. So you click on that. So that's where the game is holding. Ha! Somebody said the questions are tough. Ha! Hey! So I'm sorry about that. Oh, I did not know that the questions are tough. Sorry about the background noise. But sorry, who else think the question is tough? I can see Gemini. She said, I am done. I finished 18th. Ha! 18th. Okay, okay. We are not we are okay. How do I put this? Say, I'm sorry about this noise. So, we are sorry if the questions are tough for beginners. I finished 12th place. Congratulations, congratulations for tough questions according to you guys. So yeah, you did well. You did well. You did well. We now understand you. This thing. That is my. Okay, to view the results, we have fifth position. We have Princess Hada. If you are Princess Hada, please say hi in the comment section. Please say hi. Let us know. Who is Princess Hada? Please say hi. Then we fourth position we have Veda. Who is Veda? Please say hi. Veda, say hi. Don't be shy. You guys should say hi. Ha! He said Batman has lost. Ha! Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Okay. So then for the third position, we have, if I'm pronouncing this right, we have Zella. Zella, say hi to us. Zella, say hi. So Princess Ada has already, she has signified well done, you did well for tough questions, as you guys claimed, you did very well. So well done. So one thing about this about Zedcrest is that we host tournaments and we host financial games every week, and aside from every week you can see some that are created by individuals. You get to partake and broaden your knowledge, your finance knowledge. So you could always do that when you just pop into your Zedcrest Wealth app. When you, after you have saved or invested, then you can also partake in any financial competition that you see, just to broaden your knowledge and everything. So for the second position, we have Dan Demand 41. Dan Demand, really Dan Demand. Dan Demand, second position. Please, where are you, please? Please, where are you? Dan Demand. No, where is Dan Demand? Signify now. Oh, Shay. Ah, that's nice. Well done. Then for the first, overall, This person was not joking with their nickname. Master of All. Definitely Master of All. Drums are rolling. Do, 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 do. Congratulations. Congratulations. Master of All, congratulations, and um we we wish you, or how would I explain, we are so happy that you get to answer questions and top up first. So we are going to be gifting or awarding the first three winners, which is first of all Zahela, then Dan the man, then to the first position Master of All. Your award will be sent to your wallet, to your Zedcrest account rather. So and you can also always reach out to, if you go to your profile, you would also see that you have a wealth manager assigned to you. Basically, a wealth manager. If you go to your profile and click on my account, you would see that you have a wealth manager assigned to you. A wealth manager is basically like an account officer that manages your account. You could ask questions and make inquiries on anything. So if you have any other question that you would like to put out there, for my own section and from Favor Oladapo, please, you can put them in the comment section. Please, we'll be happy to answer them. So yeah, any questions, any questions, and congratulations to everyone. We are all winners, and yeah, you could also keep partaking in this tournament, so you could also always get more understanding. Being financial literate is not a 1 hour journey, it's not a 1 day journey, it is something you learn with time and time. So Zedcrest Wealth is very key about that, very very serious about um putting out financial literacies to people. So you can always check that out on Zedcrest Wealth app. So if you have any question, please let me know. And if there are none, I'll be moving to the next person that will be taking over from me.
Sometimes it was, honestly, I was just watching everything as it was unfolding. And to be honest, guys, I don't know. I was watching the chat, I was watching the tournament, and I saw some of the questions. I can understand why some of you guys said it was difficult. What? I feel like if we were paying attention during the webinar, it wouldn't have been that hard. But let me just say shout out to the winners. Shout out to Jemima for killing it. You absolutely killed it. You won, and I'm so proud of the people that the top three. Those are those that are winning the prizes, right? I'm so proud of you guys. For every other person that participated, for Batman, I've been seeing you in the chat. Um for those that came 12, I think some of these people came 12, they came 15. Congratulations, you guys did a good job. And I can assure you that Zedcrest is going to, do a lot for you guys. Just stay tuned to receive your gifts from them. All right. So sorry for those who did not win, that did not make it. I'm so sorry, but this is, you guys have to keep up with your financial knowledge, because this shows that your financial knowledge might be weak, and you need to learn more. You need to equip yourself with more. And on that notice, we have our final speaker that is coming very brief before we call it a day. She's the guest speaker. Her name is Kelechi. If you guys know her, if you guys know the Money Journal, who knows the Money Journal here on Instagram? She's not just on Instagram, she's on TikTok. She's always giving advice, especially for beginners in investing, on where to invest your money, how to invest your money. So she's just going to come in briefly, just to give you guys some few more tips. Because if we, as I can see from the quiz, I don't think we're all the way there yet. But to give you a few more tips on how to invest, so that when you go back and you're using Zedcrest, you have a better understanding of what you're doing. The first speaker has already giving us everything that we need to know. And let me run you guys through who Kelechi is and what she does. So Kelechi is a young finance professional on a mission to make money talk less scary and a lot more intentional. She's the voice behind the Money Journal, a platform where she turns confusing financial jargon into real, relatable conversations people actually want to have. Exactly about the people. Now, those things that seem like, what's this? I don't know anything about it. She can break it down for you so you understand it easily. With a BSc in accounting and experience as a junior analyst in business and strategy consulting, Kelechi blends solid numbers knowledge with storytelling that makes sense. Through the Money Journal, she shares tools, systems that help young people manage, grow, and multiply their money with confidence. On Instagram, TikTok, and Substack, Kelechi breaks down everyday money matters like savings, investing, pricing, and planning in a way that feels simple and doable. Her goal is clear to help early career professionals like me and you, and even entrepreneurs, take charge of their money and use it for good. Anyways, you guys, just give a round of applause for Kelechi. It took a lot to get her on board, and I'm very, very, very happy that she's joining us. She's going to, break it down for you guys, especially for you that failed that quiz, especially for you that failed that quiz. You need to listen, okay? Thank you, Kelechi, once again for joining us. I'm really honored. Thank you for being here. We can't hear you yet. Kelechi, are you still with us? I don't know why we can't hear you. I'm trying to.
Hello, is it better now?
Yes, we can hear you now. Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Sorry for the technical problems. Sophie has already introduced me. So good evening, everyone. Once again, my name is Kelechi Chukwu, founder of the Money Journal. If you should, she's already done a good introduction. So if you just want to know more about me, go to Instagram or TikTok. And just because we have a time crunch, I'm just going to go straight into it. This entire session has been very, very insightful. I've actually learned quite a lot. Even the quiz was even interesting for me, the tournament rather. So I'm just going to put like an icing on the cake to break down, not break down things further, but just give a different aspects to things. And that is, we've this entire session, the speakers have come, they've told us different investment products that we can invest in. We've covered saving, budgeting. So now I'm just going to give a quick tutorial on how to now structure your investment portfolio. So you've seen the products, everything. So how to now know which one it is you should be investing in, or which one it is you should definitely go for based on your own personal, like I say, based on your personal preferences, decisions, etc., and actions that you should take. And that's just the three key things of structuring your investment portfolio. And the three things are your investment goal, your timeline, and your risk capacity. So I'm going to take them one by one. Very short, very easy, relatable. So your investment goal would be, what is the reason that you are investing this money that you have? So aside from saving your money, savings are usually towards a specific goal, or like she said, savings for emergency, for retirement, etc. So now that you have extra money aside, what is it that you're investing this money for? That is your goal, essentially. And it could be buying a house, it could be towards your education, let's say your master's, so long-term educations, MBA, it could be retirement, it could just be for the sake of accumulating wealth. It could be family planning if you are getting married and want to start investing towards your kids. It could also be just for the sake of passive income. Like she mentioned, some investment products that would pay you coupons or interest semi-annually or quarterly. That is passive income. So the money you invest is basically paying you quarterly or semi-annually. So those are different reasons, etc. So many reasons in which you could be investing for. I hope everybody's hearing me. Please, if you're hearing me, just give like a thumbs up or something in the comments so that I would continue. Okay. Now your investment goal can be anything at all. It's the whole thing about investing and personal finances that it's very personal to you. So you always have to ask yourself, what is it that I want this money to do for me? Then the next second thing is your timeline. And these timelines in finance are usually three timelines. So there's short term, medium, and long term. Short term is usually 3 to 6 months, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. Medium term is usually 3 to 5 years. So from 1 to 3 years, then 3 to 5 years is medium term. Then long term investments are 5 years and above. So there are some investments that could continue in perpetuity. So knowing your timeline would help you know which investments it is that you are doing. She she mentioned treasury bills, and treasury bills are short-term government instruments where you essentially lend money to the government and they give you back at the end of maturity with interest. Treasury bills have 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, right? So if you know that the money that you want to invest, you need this money in 6 months' time, in 9 months' time, you would know that, okay, I'm doing treasury bills, or okay, I'm doing a money market mutual fund where I can also liquidate my investments at the time that I need it, as opposed to paying your investments or tying up your investments into like bonds or maybe some stocks or equities. I know she didn't talk about equities, so I'm not going to digress. But knowing your timeline helps you to structure your investments properly, or different timelines. And just for you to know that you can have different investments with different timelines running simultaneously. For instance, now, if I am investing, not even if I am investing towards my retirement travel plans, and to break it down, I plan to just travel the world when I retire, and I plan to retire quite early. So if I'm investing towards that, that's quite long term. So I'm saying 20 years. So I'm investing in investment instruments that continue in perpetuity. So it could be a mixture of bonds and some dollar funds, essentially, because if you're traveling, especially someone who is in Naira, you're spending in dollars. So it's dollar funds or dollar investments that continue in perpetuity. And at the same time, I also have an investment that is short term. So it's just a year, because I know that in a year I will need that money to maybe pay rent or something. I just know that in a year I would need this money. So it is put into a shorter term investment instrument. So they are running simultaneously, different timelines, different products. I hope you understand. I hope that makes sense. And then your risk appetite, different types of risk appetite. Your low, it could be low risk, medium, or high risk. And this is very, very important. In fact, this is like one of the most important things when you need to know about your investments, is to know your risk appetite, right? Someone is asking what's going on now. Can they not hear me, or are they not aware? Okay, just to answer what's going on now, I'm just giving a brief session talking about how to structure your investment portfolio following three key tenets. That's your investment goal, your timeline, and your risk appetite. And I'm currently on the risk appetite. That is Grill's Empire. Okay, now risk appetite, like I said, is one of probably the most important thing. And for you to know your risk appetite is a psychological thing as well as a capacity issue. Psychological in the sense of how how are you psychologically affected when it comes to your money? if you lose 10K, would you have a heart attack? If you lose 100K, are you just another day in the game, charge it to the game? If you lose 5K, is your heart breaking? Those kind of things help you know your risk appetite. If you're somebody that you don't like risky things at all, and this is very, very important to know because there is no investment that is the zero risk investment. If anybody ever comes to you and tells you that this investment opportunity is zero risk, in fact, they are lying to you. One, two, they're probably trying to scam you and take your money. There are investments that are very low risk and your capital is assured. But anybody that tells you there's a zero risk investment is lying to you. So it is very important for you to know your risk appetite. If you're in medium risk, at a medium risk level, you know that you can chest some loss and you also like to test the waters a bit. So you're right in the middle. You're not too conservative and you're not too liberal with your investments. Another then the high risk. How to know if you're high risk? I will always tell people whenever they ask me, "Oh, how do I know I'm high risk?" I would always say, "Have you ever done crypto? Have you ever done forex? Have you ever done sporty bets? If you've used your two eyes to engage in any of those three things, then you're probably on the high risk side." Now you might tell yourself, "Okay, I've done crypto, I've done forex, so maybe I'm high risk." You might be a high risk profiled investor, but not every one of your investments has to be high risk. This is now where the whole balancing of your portfolio comes in, right? And this is, let me give an example. For instance, I am somebody that has done forex before. I know this is not me advertising forex, please. But let's say I'm somebody that has done forex before or done a Ponzi scheme before, so I think I'm on the high risk side, or I invest in the equities market, so that's high risk. So I tell myself, okay, I'm a high risk investor. So every time I'm going for higher risk instruments like commercial papers or stocks. But that doesn't always work because there would come a time where it's not every single money or income that you would have that should be into high risk investments. For it, for example, if I have 1 million naira and I also have 5 million naira, this 5 million naira, I have a daughter and I need to pay my daughter's school fees come January, February next year, the next school session, and I need this 5 million naira to pay her school fees next year. But I want this money to grow. I don't just want it to sit in my account and the next thing you know, GTB Bank will debit me SMS levy, or they would they would just take the money somehow. I just want this money to grow. Even if it's to add 500K on top of this money, I'm fine. So I put it into a low to medium risk investment such as mutual funds. But I'm a high risk person, right? I like to test the waters. I like higher risks that might give me higher returns. And I know I have 1 million naira somewhere that I'm not really using. In the next 1 year, 2 years, this 1 million naira, I can make it tomorrow again at the end of the month. So it's money that I don't really need. That is the money that I can use to do commercial papers. I can use to do more risky investments like stocks. Do you understand now how understanding your risk profile, understanding your goal, like I mentioned, school fees versus money I'm not using, understanding your timelines, all these things are so crucial for you to start investing. You don't just go into anything because it's what because you're not too sure or based on what someone else is doing. Essentially, my entire session is just helping you to really understand how your financial goals should shape your investment journey. And the last thing is just me going through the different phases of financial life cycle. There are three phases. This one is very quick, very easy, straight to the point. The accumulation phase. And this phase is what I think most I'm trying to profile the demographic of this call, and I think is young people, right? So we if anything we are really in this accumulation phase, and this is your wealth building phase or stage. It's typically during your early years, your early career, so from your 20s to your 30s. The primary goal in this your accumulation cycle is to upskill, that is to earn more, because we always talk about investing, talk about saving, but there needs to be income for you to invest or to save, right? So your primary goal is to upskill, earn more, is to build a solid financial foundation, to set your financial goals well, and to always make sure that you are core at this phase. You are always setting good goals, upskilling, getting your certifications, and just starting small, no matter starting investing or saving, no matter how small. So make sure that you're building a solid foundation. Then you would move to your preservation phase, and this is usually like your midlife crisis phase. your 30s, mid 30s to 40s, or almost 50s. This is the stage where it would often overlap with your peak earning years. So this is the years where you're earning serious bank, serious top dollar, and the focus. This is just the time before retirement. So the focus here is to preserve your wealth. The focus shifts from simply accumulating. This is not the stage where you're experimenting different investments you're not sure of. This is the stage where you and your financial advisor you are locked in. This is the stage where your financial advisor is getting good morning texts every day from you because you are key on preserving your wealth. You're key on planning for retirement. You're doing critical investments if it's buying houses, properties, investing in euro bonds. This is the stage where you're investing in instruments that are going to earn you passive income over time. Then the last phase is now your distribution phase, and this is usually the retirement phase. It usually begins with retirement, where you start to now spend your accumulated assets or living expenses, or your accumulated assets or wealth that you've over the years as your living expenses. Because when you've retired, apart from your pension, you would see people, our parents in their retirement selling properties to take care of living expenses, etc. This is now the phase where you've, like Otedola said, money that you don't spend is money that you don't have, something along those lines. So just making sure that you understand each phase that you are in, your investment goal, your risk appetite, and your timeline. All these things coupled with everything that Zcrest has told us, and we will be in a great place financially. I'm just going to give 2 minutes. If you have any questions, please type it in the comments so that I can answer. Thank you. Is someone asking a question? I'm seeing more like comments, like distribution phase. Someone said, so someone any 50K should hold off on investing. That's not at all. No, definitely not. I don't think that's the message I passed across. I remember, um, sorry, I forgot her name, but the first speaker from Zedcrest said that if your money market mutual fund starts as low as 1K entry level, so there are investment opportunities for every investment income bracket. You could definitely start with saving and budgeting, but even your 1K, what is very important is building good habits that would scale up eventually. I hope that answers your question. Any more question? Someone said risk appetite timeline, correct investment goal. Yep. Okay. Thank you, Victoria, for jotting down key points in the comments. All right. I'm going to assume that I was quite clear. Please just give me feedback in the comments if I was clear, straight to the point, if it was easy to understand, so that I would know. Is there any amount that is considered too low to invest? No. Nope, not at all. Is there any amount that somebody would dash you today, money that you did not work for, that you would consider too low? If I should, this is second, if I should say, second, I want to send you 500 naira credit, so you tell me, no, get out. If you don't tell me, no, get out, there's no amount of money that is too low to invest. I'm currently investing in stocks and I'm a student. Is it moving too fast? That is a good question. Is it moving too fast? It is not moving too fast if you have a clear goal. Stocks investing, we've seen is on the high rise. It seems very lucrative right now, but it's not a one-time investment. It is high risk. So when I say if you have a clear goal, if you have a map that this is what I'm going to be doing for the next 5 years, or just this is what I'm getting out of my stocks investing, then great, go for it. If not, if it's just an experiment, something you're not too sure about, I would advise you start with lower risk investments that would help you to build up and accumulate your money. What's a good low investment product? Money market mutual funds. She's mentioned that. It was very easy to understand. Thank you so much. Thank you. I can't wait to have you on all my platforms. Do I advise making use of loan apps at your early stage of upskilling? Never. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Um, no, and that's maybe because I have a bias against those loan apps. I think their interest rates are quite devilish. However, I understand that there's an entry barrier towards loans in like normal banks for younger people. Upskilling in what sense? So if you want to buy a course, or if you want to advance your degree or your knowledge, yes and no. Yes and no, because unless yes and no, unless this skill that you want to acquire through this loan can potentially pay back your principal plus your interest within a timeline. If you don't see it happening, please, I would rather you, if funds are really tight, I would rather you go through family and friends for the money. Does it make sense to get loans to invest in upskilling yourself? It makes sense to borrow money to upskill yourself, yes. There are good debts and bad debts, and a good type of good debt is money towards investing in yourself. Yes, it makes sense. But I just have a bias against loan apps, and I know that for a case of privilege, not everybody may have friends and family that they would able to borrow from. But I always advise that that should be your first point of contact. Friends, family, fools. Fools are people who just like you and want to give you money. It could be there are people who do a lot of scholarships. I know old school, there are people on Twitter always do scholarships. So that category, it's a financial term, fools, essentially. The interest will blindside you, don't do it. All right. I'm going to wrap this up here. It's 6:30 and I believe it's Saturday. And as much as we love financial literacy, we also love to unwind on weekends. So I'm just going to pass over back to our great host, Tochi with the takes. And thank you all so much for having me. Thank you for staying in on this session. Find me on the Money Journal on Instagram, TikTok, and then you can join my WhatsApp community link in my bio. Bye.
All right, guys. I think it's finally time to call this whole thing over. We've spent a lot of time learning from each and every one of them. I learned a lot from Kelechi's session. I'm so grateful she came on board. I feel like she also gave a lot of clarity. Like that she mentioned, there are stuff like that about them. She also mentioned about investing in upskilling yourself. I really, really, really love that. I love what she came and she spoke, and I feel like if you didn't get clarity in the first, talk, you definitely got clarity in the second one. And I'm so happy for the really people that stayed here from beginning to end. I believe you've been blessed. If you feel like you've learned a lot, you've been blessed, please let me hear you in the comments. Let me hear you in the comments. I can't, like, if you believe you've learned something, you've been blessed, let me hear you in the comments. Mosi said she is definitely implementing Pronto. Yes. Oh, thank God she meant this. One of the best parts about all these sessions, the most important part of having these sessions is implementation. With everything you've learned, with Zedcrest app that you now have, go ahead and implement these things. Don't just learn and don't just jot. Take it, implement it, and I can assure you, you will see a difference in your life. You see a difference in the growth in your journey, in your money. And I always say this, like the money journal always says sometimes it's hard to discuss money, but once you get used to discussing money, the more money you can make, the more you understand your money, and the more your money works for you. Anyways, once again, I want to do a big shout out to Zedcrest for collaborating on this webinar with us. Once again, if you don't have the Zedcrest app, I will advise you to go ahead and download the app. For those that might miss this, that might be watching this video after it goes up, I want to say thank you for watching to the very end. I hope you've been blessed. And remember, use Zedcrest app to further your financial literacy journey, for your saving, your investing, your budgeting, and all of that. For you guys that have been here once again, thank you so much. I think it's time for us to leave. I want to say a big, big shout out to each and every one of you, to Batman, to Lucy, to Jemima that won first position. Once again, thank you and good night, guys.